Persephone, queen of the underworld and spring. Welcome back to Gods and Heroes Unveiled, where we unearth the timeless myths of ancient Greece. Today, we're descending into the shadows and blooming into spring with Persephone, queen of the underworld and goddess of renewal. From her fateful abduction to her dual reign, her story is a dance of dark and light. Ready to taste the pomegranate of her tale? Then hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into Persephone's journey together. 1. The origin of Persephone. Persephone didn't begin as a queen. Her origin is a gentle bloom in the sunlit fields of Greece, soon uprooted by a dark twist of fate. Daughter of Zeus, king of the gods, and Demeter, goddess of the harvest, she was born Kore, the maiden, a name whispering innocence and spring. Her birth was no grand spectacle. Homer barely notes it, but later hymns paint her as a child of earth's bounty, her laughter coaxing flowers from soil. Picture her, golden hair like ripe wheat, eyes bright as new leaves, gathering narcissus with nymphs in a meadow, Nisian fields. Some say her mother's love swaddled her, Demeter's grain her cradle, Zeus' sky her canopy. She wasn't forged in chaos like Aphrodite or war like Athena. Her origin was life itself, a seed of spring destined to grow. Yet fate loomed, her lineage a magnet for divine schemes. Her story shifts with Hades, lord of the underworld. Zeus, her father, struck a deal. Hades could take her as wife, a pact Demeter never knew. One day, as Kore plucked a flower, the earth split. Hades surged forth in his chariot, snatching her into darkness. The Homeric hymn to Demeter sings it. Her cries echoed, unheard by all but Hecate and Helios, her bloom plucked from light to shadow. This abduction wasn't her end, it was her rebirth. In the underworld, she became Persephone, bringer of destruction, her name a chill on mortal tongues. Hades offered a pomegranate, 6 seeds, some say binding her to his realm. Her origin split. Kore the maiden faded, Persephone the queen rose, her roots now deep in death's soil. Demeter's grief froze the earth, forcing Zeus to bargain, half the year below, half above. Her birth reflects duality, life from Demeter, power from Zeus, doom from Hades. She wasn't sea-born or sky-sprung but earth-tied, her abduction a bridge between worlds. The Greeks saw her as spring's child, yet her origin tied her to cycles, growth, decay, renewal. She wasn't just a victim, she was a queen forged in shadow. This origin isn't simple, it's a seed buried, a bloom forced to reign. As we'll see, Persephone didn't wilt, she ruled. Her deeds a balance of dark and light that shaped the seasons. 2. Persephone's role and deeds. Persephone didn't linger as a captive. Her role as queen of the underworld and spring's harbinger made her a goddess of balance, her deeds a thread through life and death. No longer just Kore, she ruled beside Hades, her pomegranate bond a crown, her presence softening the underworld's gloom. Her story isn't passive, it's a reign over 2 realms, her power blooming in shadow and sun. Her primary role was dual, queen below, renewal above. In Hades' realm, she judged souls with him, her throne cold but just. The Odyssey glimpses her, Odysseus meets her, a figure of dread and grace, guiding shades. She welcomed heroes like Heracles, her mercy rare in death's grip. Above, her return sparked spring flowers burst, grain swelled, Demeter's joy at her daughter's rise a gift to mortals. Her deeds shaped myths. When Adonis, Aphrodite's lover, died, Persephone claimed him half the year, her jealousy a tug-of-war with love's goddess, splitting his time. She cursed Minda, Hades' lover, into a mint plant, her wrath a queen's mark. Orpheus begged her for Eurydice, she relented, her heart stirred. Though his failure wasn't her fault. Her deeds weren't loud, they were deep, a quiet force in death's court. She influenced the living too. The Eleusinian Mysteries, rites with Demeter, honored her, initiates sought her favor for afterlife peace. Her abduction is secret of renewal. Her pomegranate wasn't just a trap, it was power, tying her to cycles mortals revered. She didn't fight wars, her role was harmony, her deeds a bridge over the Styx. Her reign clashed with gods. Demeter's sorrow birthed winter, Persephone's absence of frost no plea could thaw. Hades bent to her, some say she ruled him, her will softening his stone. Her deeds were subtle, judgment, mercy, spring's bloom, a goddess who held life's rhythm in her hands. Persephone's role was a dance, dark queen, bright maiden, her deeds a season's turn. As we'll see, her legacy didn't wither, it grew, a root that still binds earth and underworld. 3. The legacy of Persephone. Persephone's legacy didn't fade with the seasons, it rooted deep, her tale of underworld and spring abloom across time. Queen and maiden, she left a mark in Greece and beyond, her story a cycle of loss and return. From rites to art, she endures as a goddess of life's dual song. In Greece, she was sacred. The Eleusinian Mysteries crowned her, secret rites near Athens promised rebirth, her myth a key to eternity. Temples to her in Demeter-dotted fields, her pomegranate a symbol, vases show her enthroned, regal in shadow. Poets like Ovid retold her abduction, her reign a muse for renewal. Her legacy was hope amid death. Rome knew her as Proserpina. Virgil's Aeneid cast her as underworld queen. Aeneas met her, a figure of fate. Her tale shifted, less spring, more gloom. But her power held, her name whispered in harvest prayers. Art captured her, mosaics of her rise. A maiden crowned in dusk, her legacy a bridge to Greece's roots. Her story shaped culture. The seasons turn, winter's grief, spring's joy, lives in Hesiod, a rhythm mortals felt. Renaissance painters like Bernini sculpted her abduction, her struggle a timeless cry. Poets like Keats wove her into odes, pomegranates read with meaning, her legacy is seed in verse. Today, she thrives. Films like Percy Jackson cast her as queen, books retell her, rethinking Persephone a feminist spin. Her name graces gardens, her tale in songs, Florence, and the machine hums her roots. Scholars link her to older goddesses, Inanna's descent and echo, her legacy is cycle universal. Her meaning lasts. To Greeks, she was life's wheel, death's queen, spring's breath. Now, she's resilience, abducted yet reigning, a woman unbound. From Eleusis to modern art, Persephone's legacy is a bloom, a root in shadow, a flower in light. Outro. That's the captivating tale of Persephone, from her fateful abduction to her dual reign and lasting legacy. What's your take, Underworld Queen or Spring's Maiden? Drop it in the comments. If you love this dive into Greek mythology, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for a new epic tale every single day. Thanks for watching Gods and Heroes Unveiled. See you tomorrow for another legendary journey.